holistic, a little bit of everything, coming in to um, do a full moon meditation and a little bit of talk that is channeling through as well, a little bit of chatter that's channeling through. There's a whole lot of chatter, but I'm going to try to condense this in and to try to make it as reasonable as I can or as understandable because, channeling can take us anywhere and lead to anything if we let it. So, um, when we look at today, this is being recorded on the new moon, which is in the energy of the 411. We have a magical master day, and in astrology and those things, we're all talking about a new day, a new beginning, a new start, a fresh start, like to be new, to start over again. We just came through being in like the zeros and the 0 degrees and wholeness and completeness. But when I think of this and when this comes up for me, um, the master in the master number is the essence of understanding the power of the ascendant masters and those who have walked this earth before us, or some who have not walked earth, who are the ascendants, who have ascended before, who walked here and ascended beyond the stories, the truth, the stories of which we live in, to see the light of day, to be empowered and inspired by how much love there is beyond what we witness in not healthy or not good behavior, put it that way, not good things from situations or times when we truly think that what has happened to us, how did we become that, and we rise again and we rise up beyond that. So as I start to write this through and I start looking at it, and I have pages and pages and pages that were written about this, it's like um it keeps coming back to Jesus for me. It keeps coming back to the healer who walked upon earth. And whether you're Christian or not, or whether you are spiritual or not, this is a part of um, how we do begin to separate ourselves. And it's a new day so that we start to look at how do we come together instead of being more divided and separated? How do I stop dividing and separating from myself? How do I start how do I start justifying what's good for one side of me and not for the other? And I think of this when I look at different scenarios that are showing up in the world right now and how we can turn the blind eye. And we can turn the blind eye to the things that we don't want to see and we don't want to believe. We create our narrative. We allow you know, our s- our imagination to create the lives that we want to live, like to create our reality. And there's such truth to that. And so um, we we start to really be able to channel through, and I got to put my book down because it's going to throw me off if I try to read what's in the book. And this story of Jesus was, it was a story that evolved and it started to it's the essence of the essence of the moment of being on a crossroad of all of your decisions and all of your choices is the thing that has not changed. The man who was Jesus had a choice to conform, to hide, to stop doing what he was doing. He knew he couldn't. The mother, who was the mother of Jesus, Mother Mary, could have stopped, hid her kid, and just said, "No, I know that's what they want of him, but I'm going to teach him to not do that, and I'll teach him more fear than anything." But she knew she could not do that. This energy, April, April the 11th, under the new moon energy, what I'm being told is the choices, the decisions that we make in our fear stories, in our darkness, what we do defines who we will become on the next cycles of our life in this next energy. And so it's what you do when nobody is looking, how you behave, how you act, how you respond. What we do when people are looking, watching, observing is one thing. It is what you do for the highest good of all when nobody is looking. And so that story, the secrecies, those things the stories of the past that we think we're hiding underneath the rug, those things. When you look at and I spoke about this in my goddess course this morning, actually, and you look at the enemies, I wasn't using this story, I was referring to another story, but this same energy came up. And sorry, I'm looking at two cameras. And so the that whole sense of what we do in the dark. So when you look at that same story, the people that were whispering about, we have to stop that person, we have to get rid of that person, we have to make sure, you can't have him doing this, you can't have people speaking this, you can't have those changes. And so that secrecy, that whisper became um, a virus of the mind. It started to play out and it started to, get more and more people on board. And then on the other side of the love story, it's like that desire to get people to be able to be allowed to think for themselves, to be allowed to have their own mind, to be able to come forward into a new way, into a new life, was that knowing full well you have to sometimes pay that ultimate price. So with love, with love and hate, with love and hate for a situation that they were in, both Mary, Jesus had to do something that was against them. The people that were afraid to stand up against, another organization were with love and hate as well. So the whole story of nothing becomes everything. We create something and we make things bigger, we create it into bigger. And what we're being told here and how this is channeling through for me is that we will, even in our new world, in our new lives, we have to live still with the faded experience. We have to live with the fact that not everybody is going to be on board with you. Not everything is going to be great. Not everything's going to be wonderful. We're not moving into, as a big raven just flew across my window. We're not moving into this like Disney, like this dream life. And so I'm saying Disney because there's a tool techniques that we use in life coaching. It's like the Disney tools, the Disney techniques, where you have your dream, you have your dreamer. And so the dreamer goes in and the dreamer has this, gets up on its perch and it just like thinks about everything. Oh my God, this life and what it's going to look like. And it's like, oh God, I want everyone to really truly get on board with my story. Well, in comes the critic. And then the critic comes in and the planner comes in and the critic comes in and the planner comes in and says, okay, well, what do you need? What do you got to do? And I teach this in my program, and it's not my work, but it's what do you got to do? What needs to happen? And then you have the critic that comes in and questions everything. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Are you sure that's the right decision? Who's this going to affect? How's it going to affect things? Can you pay the price for that? Is it going to be worth the cost? Da 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 da. Nobody wants to hear the critic. Nobody wants to listen to the one who is the one who's being kind of in the logical saying, we have to be more open minded. We have to look at all sides. Well, that's the master energy. That's how that master energy works with us. It's like, I have been there, I have experienced it, I have witnessed it. And I think you need to look at everything before you make that choice, that decision. And then it goes to the wise ones. And then the wise ones and the wise wisdom truly is about, you know what? We're here for you. Whatever you make, if you make a wrong decision, you can come back home. But this is, let us share with you. Let us share with you everything that we have witnessed, we've experienced in the past. And for us, that is the elders right now. That is those who have been to war, who have been to different places, who have experienced all sides of everything. And so there's some wisdom and knowledge that is being told to us that as we come through this new moon energy, as we're in this age of, and we're in this age and this time of, we are in the most embodied light that we can be in the energy of the Aries right now so far this year. It's like the most lit up. It's like we are being lit up. So that passion, desire that lights us up and that fast speed energy that's with it is also telling us, before you think impulsively and you make a choice and you make a decision that may not be in the alignment to the highest good, really truly think about what is behind your actions of love, what is behind your fear of the hate stories, what is truly, what is there that we need to start to setting an intention to, that we really want to see happen within our lifetime, within our world. And so humanity is a big part of this. So you need to become a witness and an observer, and to also then become an agent of change. And so everything that we want to see unfold, and whatever it is that we want to see happen in the world, is to be love in the dark. So our intention and our light is to be able to be the love in the dark, to be present, to be able to ask ourselves the hard questions, to be honest with ourselves, to be authentic with ourselves. Who and what are we sacrificing and why are we sacrificing? And this was the questions that whoa, tipped over my camera. So this was the questions that I asked when I was asking this is, um, What do you feel? What do you feel you are sacrificing each and every day? When you hear yourself talk about your life, I'm giving up this, I'm losing this, da 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 da. What do you feel? What are you sensing? What do you think you are sacrificing every day? What are you really? Are you really, what are you really sacrificing? What is the story? What is the story that you are providing to yourself to keep you staying in this energy? Are you willing to let it go? What else can you sacrifice? What else? Even though you think you're sacrificing it all, what else could you sacrifice? Because when you look at the ascendant masters, when you look at those who've paid the ultimate price, what more can we do on our behalf to be the change that we want to see? And a part of that is to be able to see it in a way beyond the stories of the past, that we don't have to pay the ultimate price in the ways that we paid them before. We pay them by letting go of ego. What we're surrendering over is ego. What we're moving beyond is ego. We're letting go of the ego stories. When we know that we have done something that have cost other people a lot of things, the ones who knew they did wrong and did it anyway are the ones who suffer. So once you know you do something that is out of alignment to who you truly are, but you got caught up, you get caught up in that energy. And those are the ones that suffer, the ones that hold strong to, I did the right thing. I knew what I did. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I know there's a lot less suffering to that. It's those who question after the fact, did I do the right thing? When you look around and you see other people suffering, other people starving, other people going through loss, other people hurting because of the collateral damage for you to get what you want, there will be a point when you look back and you ask, did I do the right things? Because you will be the one left suffering, because you cannot take back your words, your actions, your thoughts. You cannot take back the things that you wouldn't take back your thoughts, because if no one else heard them. But if your thoughts turn into action and words, you can't take them back. What you do unto another, right? And so that experience of what we do unto another. So the pain that Mother Mary carried, the pain, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my shot. The pain that Mother Mary carried was the fact that she's seen the best and the worst of humanity. That humans, that we can do this to each other, that we can think for a period of time that this kind of treatment is, and I know I'm speaking in a big term, like in a extreme term, but that's what we're being told, or be careful of what we're trying to master, who's trying to be a master, and to not to become a master puppet to the agenda of what new means or what this new world means. To truly know that new means that you have a new opportunity to truly do the healing work on you, so that you are not making decisions in the dark that are out of alignment with you. Can you live with the choices and decisions that you make? What are you setting intention for? What are you setting goals for? What is it that you're seeking and searching? And is your desire from a place of a healthy love, a sense of understanding, empowerment, or to be able to, to pass judgment and conviction upon another, to be able um, to see the world be more divided or to come together. And so in this energy, what we're being shown and what we're being given is that we have the power within us to become like angelic angels on earth, to follow the leader of those that walked like a Jesus energy, to follow the light of those who, even in the dark, made the right choices, made the right decision, did the right things for all the right reasons, not for the right reasons of ego, but for the right reasons outside. Even though it may hurt us, even though it may cause us a little bit of hurt in a moment of pain, but the choices and decisions that we're going to make to be able to move forward allows us to be able to embody in enough light so that no matter when darkness comes, no matter when it falls upon us, is that we know we still have that light. And if ours can't shine bright enough that day, that others can bring their light in for us so that we can be that. And so this new moon really truly represents taking care of the heart of the matter, our mental states, being in alignment to understanding that our mental situation and where we are in our human mental depressions, low energy, those type of things really comes by the pressure that we are under to fall away from who we are, or to be making decisions that are not in alignment to what we feel in our hearts. We're being told to trust ourselves in the sense of being able to take your time before you make those decisions, but also to be able to look back at the past history, not to forget it, to go study it, to learn it properly, so that you can see, so that we can see exactly what it is that we need to do. And I don't mean you got to go study history. I mean to study your past history, to look at your life and say, what was I doing? What did it cost me every time that I was trying to do the right thing for the right reasons that wasn't in alignment to my truth? If you're doing the right things for your shadow, if you're doing the right things for your fear story, then they're never going to be in alignment. Truth and honesty, right? Speaks volumes. You hear me speak about it all the time. So, as we go through this quick little meditation, we don't need big meditations. We need to have faith. Is that this new moon energy, where we are with the angels, with the angelic realm, with the essence of knowing that we are guided, we're protected, we're safe, that we can in our dark be the brightest lights ever, to be the intention of love for the world, to be able to light up the world, to understand that the agenda of a new world doesn't mean that's your agenda and you do not have to be conformed to that. That your set of intentions and who you become is to look at the past and look at some of those choices and decisions, to think that if humanity if as a human race we are capable of doing things like putting somebody on a cross and convincing ourselves that it was right, but we're also very capable of then being there to be of service on the other side of that, to hold, to support, to love, to keep something alive, to be able to hold true to keeping a memory, a story alive. But what memories and stories do we keep alive, and for what reason do we keep them alive? So as we move forward with this, I want you to be able to become and witness an observer of the life, that we have all been a victim of our own circumstances and sometimes that of others, that we have been conditioned to carry pain, that we have been conditioned that to carry pain out of love, out of respect, out of those things, and that it does such a disrespect for us to have to carry the pain, to have to stay in a misery story. We're not asked to stay in suffering. We're asked to free ourselves of suffering because of what we have witnessed. We're asked to not judge each other. We're asked to know that we can have our own beliefs and our own thoughts and practice that in our own way without judgment. So this new world, this new energy world, what I'm speaking of is the world that you exist in within yourself. It's not about the whole world itself. I work with you. So this is about you being able to breathe through yourself. It's like, oh, stop, pause. I know everything is going fast. I know time is going fast. But in that fast time, that fast energy, do I live in fear of missing an opportunity, or do I miss the opportunities to be able to embrace my experience, to be able to live with the essence of witnessing my own life, observing my own life, to make my choices and my decisions for all the right reasons, even when nobody is looking, how I treat myself, and why I no longer want to sacrifice myself, my life, or my future by being so caught in the fear. But as you breathe that today, as we take that in, I ask of you to take a big breath in and out, and then a big, that your body do almost like a yawn. Open your mouth and let the energy out. What we're letting out is all of this energy that you have taken in this world, where you feel like you have to carry, and we're letting it out. And as we take 4 and 11, as two ravens land outside my house, we go to 2, and from 2, To see ourselves as second place, second place as a number two, not as a number one, a number two. And I know that may feel a little bit uncomfortable as we're always told to shoot to be a number one, to be so important. But the illusion of a number one is that we're always a number two somewhere. We're always one little bit behind our light, living within the light, living beyond somebody or behind within somebody's energy that we're here to learn from, that we don't know it all, we never will. But this is about us being able to be open to wisdom, so that we're guided and follow through by light. And as you take another deep breath in and you breathe out, oh, big yard, pulling up wisdom of the elders. So in this moment, it is the pause. The 12th is still in the new moon energy, and I have the 12th. That if we pause today, may not make too many choices and decisions, and we look at where we've been, that the wisdom of the elders, the Wee energy, will truly start to show us how small we are, but how much potential we have, how big of an influence we are, how big we are in this world, as we are this little tiny one, as this out here is still much bigger than us. We'll never be able to be this. And the more we play that God with our own lives, the more that we holds us back from wisdom. And now I ask of you to take that breath and bring it all the way in and all the way down into the sacral and let it go. And then as you breathe back in again, breathe into the solar plexus or the power center or the love centers. And as you do, see a beautiful golden light starting to appear. And as you see this golden lights to appear, know that in this golden light is all of the Ascendant Masters. All of those who have walked before, that provides for us so much wisdom, so much information, so much knowledge. And for that, we say thank you. As you feel the essence of this golden light becoming more and more brighter, bigger, stronger, I invite you to notice as if this forms into a ring around you. And as it forms into a ring around you, then notice that this pinky light starts to form around it. This pink light is almost like a reddish pinky. This is the essence of the blood, sweat, and tears of those who have walked before us. Those that keep trying to give us the messages from the other side, to do the right thing for the right reason. As you feel the essence or you see it, whatever it is, notice that this pinky red starts to infuse its way, starts to blend into the gold. And it goes into this golden light. And as it does, it expands right from your solar plexus all the way down and then all the way up. And as if you're in this cosmic egg, I'm going to now notice that this becomes rose gold, a rose gold color, as this pinky light infuses and wraps its way all the way into all of the gold. That this is rose gold. This represents the blood and the tears that were spilled, what it had cost the many, many ancestors and generations who walked before us, who had to stop and say no, who had to turn around and stand up, who had to find their courage to say, "This is not working." An enemy outside of you is an enemy within you. Breathe that in. An enemy outside of you is an enemy within inside of you. When you truly start to question and you don't like the things that you're doing, and you find yourself criticizing, judging, and having to explain to people why you did that, the person you are making your enemy, then it's also a reflection of the enemy that you are making within you. And as this beautiful golden, rose gold light wraps around you, that you feel the essence of an unconditional love starting to penetrate through your whole being, through your whole body, through your cellular structure, through your the blood flowing through your veins, through all parts of you, unconditional, allowing you to be able to release, to let go of all the ancestor stories where you may have walked, where you may have been in another lifetime. And as you let them go, as seeing the sides of them that causes you to be angry, to fight, see the end, see the peace that came, see the results, see anything that truly starts to show you there is hope, there is faith. And as you find your way back into the hope and into the faith, into the light of this energy, we ask of you now to look at this beautiful light and look into it. And as you do, you feel the presence of the council now wrapping around you. And you don't need to know who they are and what they're here for. You need to know that they're all made of unconditional love. And as you feel the unconditional love, as you feel connected to the unconditional love, they ask of you to see those who walked before us that inspired us, that gave us back that hope, and then bring that home to you. See yourself as your hero. See yourself as your savior. See a time in your life when you had to reach all the way in and find a strength you didn't know you had because it came from something outside of yourself. And you heard yourself saying, "I don't know where I got this from. I don't know how I did this." And for that, we say thank you. For this is the essence of the soul self that speaks and helps and guides. This is also the angels in the angelic realm and the ascendant masters and all who have walked before us that know that we all have the ability to be nothing but pure love and light. And we say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And as we now take that opportunity, we bring it back into the now. Where in your life are you finding yourself letting the darkness of fear stories or judgment or holding on to old resentments, old angers? Where are you ready to let them go? You were heard in those silent cries, those silent prayers. So today, here it is, an opportunity to let it go. And you choose you in this moment. And as you find your way back with this beautiful light, In this story, I invite you to let your body slowly kind of relax as if everything of this rose gold forms into like this recliner chair where you get to just fall back into your cosmic light. And as you do, notice it starts to break open in the front. And as it's breaking open in the front, you start to see a glimmer of sunshine, of light. And the more and more it opens, it starts to unveil a beautiful scenery, a beautiful light, colors, yours to create, not mine. This is your journey. See the trees, see the water, whatever it may be. Whatever beauty and truth represents for you. And as you start to see this, know that this is an image of your new world, your new life. Hear the birds, hear the breeze, whatever it may be. Such a peaceful experience. Well, that's your new world. And as we start to be able to notice this, notice your body starts to relax, getting more and more comfortable. What we call contentment. Now we ask you to see yourself for a moment when you know you have done all the right things for all the right reasons. And we breathe in the joy, the pleasure of being of service that way to do the right thing for the right reasons. And let that energy go all the way in. Breathe it into you. And as you breathe out, we wish the same upon the world. That they can find their joy, their happiness. That you're content in knowing that you're now doing your part. That you are now a part of those who are making a choice and decision to do the right thing for the right reasons. That this beautiful new moon energy, this beautiful opportunity to be lit up, to light up, is now lighting up possibility and opportunity in life. We take everything we have learned from the past and know that we are here to do better, to do more than, but to be able to see our own personal journey so that you no longer do the things that take you into the misery, that you're more willing to let go, more willing to set free. And our card that comes out with this is the beautiful rebirth. She is purity. And as you breathe in, you breathe out still right now, where we are. We ask of your guides, your angels, for your own spirit within, with all free will choice to be able to purify any thoughts, any old choices, decisions, anything that's had you tied up in knots, and to free it, to purify it, just like purifying water. Filter through anything that you are ready to let go of. Let your soul, spirit self come in and soar through. You don't have to find stories or situations, just knowing that you can set it free. And with love, it is set free. And with love, you shall be free. And with love, you get to choose. And as you breathe back in, you breathe out again. Remember this peace, this contentment, this quiet. Remember the scenery of beautiful, colorful environment, world. Remember how much joy to see your world being created. These are the memories, these are the feelings that we send forward. So that when your new life feels that content, that peace, you'll know I've made it. I am there. I'm doing what is asked of me. You've already been reborn in the new day. You're now preparing all that will be needed to live the best of the new day. your new life, your new world, your new opportunities. And with that, it leaves you in the energy of being to start taking action steps towards moving forward towards your light, as you will be reminded of where you have been, that you'll be inspired by where you're going. And you will walk in a light and an energy of the Lumerian energy, of absolute love, of beautiful golden, and that of the Jesus energy, and that of anything else that is out there, Pleiadians, of beings that are here for our highest good, as you become a being that is here for your highest good. And feel yourself now being able to come all the way back. Breathe in and breathe out. As your light is now charged, you're now charged, and you're now free of some of the things that have been holding you back, things that have taken you into a place of suffering, where you're now free. And even just for the moment, we want you to feel that, so that you'll want to feel more of that peace, contentment, freedom each and every day as you find your way home to you. This is the beauty of what your new world will feel like when you know that there will be things that you'll be out of your control and we'll have to experience them, but at peace with the limitation, who we are as a human, and who we call in to help, and who is there for us, and that you recognize you're not here to do it all alone. And you breathe in, you breathe out the love that is with you, the light that is with you. And we offer the same out into the world as we do those who follow these meditations. And with that, I send you much love and much light. And I wish you well. And have a beautiful new moon. And you're here to master this life, this new world, this new you. And to always know we always are a follower. Every leader has a follower, and every follower has a leader. And there's always someone. And as we step into the two, we step into knowing that today you may be feeling like you're a number two, or that you're being forgotten, but you are never forgotten. Sometimes somebody else just has to be the one to get a turn first. Much love. Have a beautiful day. And you just keep aspiring with benevolent thoughts, inspiration to keep trying to be the best that you can be. Have a beautiful day.